Today we have Ravi Teja sir from Qualcomm. He's a pass out from DTU and currently he's working as a hardware engineer at Qualcomm. Welcome to the channel, Ravi sir.
Hi, hello everyone.
So you can give us a brief introduction about yourself.
Myself Ravi Teja, and I'm currently working as senior lead engineer at Qualcomm at the Noida location. So I basically work in pre-silicon and post-silicon validation, and I have a total 6 years of experience. So 3 years I've spent at Qualcomm, and 2 years at NXP Semiconductors, and 1 year at Texas Instruments. 2016 is my pass out date from Delhi College of Engineering, after which I joined Texas Instruments. So yeah, this is a brief summary about myself. Yeah.
Okay, so as you said that you graduated from DTU, right, in 2016.
Mhm.
So how was your experience at DTU as an electronic student? How was the culture there, academic? So
Mhm.
just give us a brief enlightenment on that.
Sure. So if you see most of the guys who join the electronics stream, right? So either the first choice is like computer science and or like it's software something. So even my choice when I joined the electronics was my first choice was computer science, but due to the ranking like etc. I got the electronics. But when I joined electronics, right? I really liked the subject. So I had no background about the electronics. Okay, I didn't know what is the CC. Just I knew it was electronics and communication. But when you are passionate about something, when you like to deep dive into the subject and like to study more, so you will get interest in the subject. So overall, I would say like it depends on everything. Like it depends on you. Okay, it's not teachers will teach. What you learn is that is important. Okay, so if you see every college, the teachers would almost be same. Like they will be teaching something and they'll be going. But yeah, what projects you do, what you learn is that matters the most. So yeah, overall the experience at DTU was very good. A lot of the college life was awesome. The learning was awesome. Internship projects etc. I used to get a lot. So everything was good. Yeah, this is about my learning experience at DTU.
Okay,
So yeah.
so as you said, there are a lot of other things in college, right? Like other than
Mhm.
academics. So, can you tell us which all societies or fest or clubs you were a part of? Because these things are
Mhm.
also important in life, not just the technical things, right?
Mhm.
So you can just give a brief idea on that.
So frankly speaking, I was not part of any club like much. I was just part of Society of Robotics Studio. Okay, even there, like I didn't work much. Okay, so I just was part of it. Okay, so I think the most important things which are like important for getting a job in VLSI or getting an internship in VLSI is good projects and good internships, of course. So when I was in second year, I started. So we were like assigned a mentor. Okay, basically. So I was assigned Sindhu ma'am, who is also currently the professor in DTU. So she guided us well. Even though the projects that she gave us were different from VLSI, that I worked on wireless sensor network basically, but I had the passion. Like okay, so a lot of coding was involved, like my in MATLAB, and like a lot of algorithm designs was there. So finally, we were able to publish research papers related to this. So if you're passionate in the subject, right, and you learn well, so it's not like you have to do projects in VLSI only. You can do projects in other streams as well. So ultimately, what matters is good projects and good internships. They should serve as a foundation for you. Okay, it's not like you have to align yourself to VLSI. So when the companies come for placement, right, they will ask the quality of the products you did instead of like you did VLSI only. So do one or two projects in VLSI. Like don't stick to VLSI. You can whatever your passion is, follow that. Okay. So that's my
So
experience
as
actually.
you said, like initially you were in the computer science, you were interested to go in the computer science field, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
there must be some point where you realize that because being an EC student, you also have seen that
Hmm.
more than half of the batch goes for the coding jobs, right? Because
That's
they
correct.
are more in numbers, and it requires a
Hmm.
very strong motivation to stay in this
Yeah.
field because of very less number of opportunities. So what was that moment? What was the your idea when you decided that no, you will not go for coding and you will stay in this field? You will
Hmm.
make an impact in this field only. Yes. So where did that motivation came from?
See the motivation, right? So if you see, I only wanted to go for computer science because the package is the highest. Okay,
Yes, yes.
like when we were in 12th, right, we just see the newspapers. Okay, we don't know about the college life. What we see in the newspapers is computer science guy got 58 lakhs, 1
Yes.
crore package like that. Okay, so because of that, like I was just interested in computer science because I didn't had C++ in my 12th. Okay,
Okay.
I had physical education. Okay, so no, I didn't had any coding background, no background in electronics. So I was just a freshie. Okay, basically, I just wanted to learn. Okay, so if you see, right, the opportunities in VLSI are definitely limited. Okay, so if in a batch of 200 or 300 or 400 maybe, so there were like a total of 400 students who were eligible to apply for VLSI companies during my batch. Okay, Triple E was there, Double E was there, EC, a total of 400 students. Only 30 or 40 people get VLSI jobs basically, and this is like for our college. Okay, if you see other colleges, for example, recently I interacted with some NIT students. They said there is a very limited VLSI company, so like 10 or 20 students get basically. Okay, the TI etc. They don't go to the college. Okay, so the opportunities are very limited. Okay, so if you consider me, right, so I also prepared for consultancy and coding as well. I didn't only prepare for VLSI. I was good in VLSI, and if you see my just 2 months before the placement, I started preparing for placement during my summer vacation. So I took three like profiles. I took one, this is VLSI and consulting, and third one was coding. Okay, I used to give 50% to VLSI and 30% to coding, and 20% to consulting. It was so because see, there is a lot of instability. There are 400 students. Okay, so it is not there is no guarantee that you will get into VLSI companies. That's why I prepared for all the companies actually. But luckily, I got into VLSI company. So one thing that matters is prepare for the written test well. Then you can also prepare for the interview, and whatever projects you did, by heart them properly. Whatever work you have to explain to the interviewer. So definitely don't stick to one profile. Just go for other profiles as well.
Okay. So as you said that internships and projects are very important in the in
Mhm.
grooming your profile for placement. So we saw your profile that you did your internship at CDAC. So how
Mhm.
did that help you in your profile?
Okay, so basically in TI, right, I was selected for the analog profile. Okay, so it was not like I didn't had any relevant project or relevant internships. Okay, so as I said before, also the quality of the work you do is what matters the most. Okay, it's not right. If you even if you worked on basically digital, if you are good in analog also. Okay, if you are able to solve the problems, or if you are able to use the tools properly, then you can get the job. It's not only if you go for analog, then only you will be selected for analog. Okay, if you do analog projects, if you do uh, like uh, for example, the analog things. I had one project, one internship, that is National Physical Laboratory, which was related to analog. So I designed a signal generator. But yeah, so and the interviewer also asked about it. Okay, what have you done there? So, but yeah, if you are good at something, right, then definitely it's not. So you can explain the interviewer that one project is enough. It's not like you have to do 4 or 5 projects in that domain. Okay, do one project, explain the interviewer about it, which is relevant to your profile that you're applying, and the fundamentals should be strong basically. Whatever the written test, etc. So even some companies ask the written test questions, how you have solved the written test questions. So fundamentals and expertise in your domain is important. One project is fine, man. That's it.
Okay, so TI was your first job, like it was the your like just after college, that was your first job, right? That you got from college. So can you
Correct.
tell us briefly about the process of getting selected in text? Because there would be many students who would be watching
Mm,
this and preparing for companies like TI or Samsung or Qualcomm. So brief idea about how was the pattern, how was the interview, and
mm.
what in general do they expect from a fresh NCG to work in the industry, right?
So yeah, so basically, I like when I was in college, I got like I had like second company was Texas Instruments basically. Okay, that came to college. So Samsung was the first. Samsung, like I cleared the written test, and first interview also I cleared. Second interview, like I screwed up. Okay, basically. So in TI, like basically like the test is common for all. Okay, the written
Okay.
test, digital, analog, and one more I think aptitude. Okay, these things are asked in the written test basically. So it which is common for all. Based on your performance in the analog, digital, they will shortlist you. For example, if your performance was very good in digital, they will shortlist you for digital. If your performance was good in analog, then they will shortlist you for analog. Okay. I think when I was in college, 30 questions were asked from like analog and 30 from digital. What I remember, or maybe 20. So, but yeah, the test is common for all, and aptitude also they ask. Yeah. So this is the written test process. After the written test is complete, they will shortlist you the best candidates. That is from the first rank in the written test till maybe 50 or 40, depending on the requirement. Okay. So if they want to select, suppose 4 or 5 people, they may shortlist 30 or 40 people. Okay. Then they will call for the interview. Okay. There were 3 interviews at my time. So the first interview they asked was like related to the projects and like the written test question, like the non written tests, the questions. Okay, so like it was a 1 hour interview, like 1 hour, 1 to 1.5 hour, and once if you are like good and like if you can clear it, then you will go to the second round. Similarly, in the second round, they will ask the written test and the projects again, the same thing, but the panel was of 2 people this time, and yeah, also they asked the questions from the paper, the written test. If like you didn't just guess it, if you did it properly, they want to check, like some people guess the question answer, right? Because the multiple choice questions. So once you clear the second interview, then it's HR interview basically. Like HR generally asks about your background, your family, and why you want to work in analog or digital, like that. So this was the like process of the TI at that time. So yeah, and the CGPA from what I remember was 7 CGPA or 65% from what I, because my one of my friend got selected in TI with 68%. Okay, just cut off. You need to have a percentage more than cut off. It's not like you need to have a 9 CGPA, 9.5 CGPA, not like that. Because my one of my friend, he was in Triple E, he got selected in TI for 68%. So not a problem, and people with high CGPA also get rejected. That's not a problem. Okay. So that
Okay.
was a brief process. Yeah.
So after getting selected in TI, how like you worked at for 1 year at TI, right? So how
Correct.
was the experience there? And since you were new there, right? You had just came out of the college, so
Hmm.
there might be your experience would be very different. Like it would have been a first time experience. So can you briefly
Correct.
describe us how it went, and then after what point you decided that now you like whether your profile or whether your company, whatever be the scenario, you decided to move on to a different place.
Mhm. So like when you join the TI, right? So 1 or 1.5 month you get training initially. Okay, industry experts from like even the UC Berkeley and from the US, they come to treat you. And in the industry with RNs in the India, the
Okay.
professor from IIT Kharagpur or like very high expertise people. They teach you the analog fundamentals. They give you live exercises. They give you a complete overview of the firm. Okay, so and we have a like personality development course as well, where you there's a Pegasus program where like everyone interact basically. 3 days program. They take you to some hilly area, like all 100 people, and they there's a like events there. For example, what I see, we have to complete a task like high jump, something like that. So it is a great experience, the learning in TI 1.5 month. So the profiles that are assigned are random. So for example, if you are interested in analog design, then it's not like you will get analog design. You may get a different profile. Okay, so analog test you may get you analog verification or analog design, something like that. So it's different for different people. It's randomly assigned basically by the HR. Okay, so once we are like done with the training, we are deployed in our team. Basically, we get into the team. So there is a rotation program at that time. There was a rotation program. So 3-4 months we spend in every domain. So analog we spend So and like we spend in analog validation, then analog verification, analog design, board board development, board testing, like that. So my profile was a mix of both the digital and analog, because I worked in digital isolators basically. Okay, so digital and analog I both worked on. So even the design and verification validation, it was mix of digital and analog. Okay, so you can say a mixed signal I was like part of. Yeah. So this was my 1 year journey at TI. Then I decided to move to NXP Semiconductors. There were two reasons basically. The first was location, and so I wanted to go to come to my hometown, that is Delhi. Okay. And the second reason was I was more interested in digital domain. So basically, from the computer architecture, the digital domain. So when I started to work, I felt I was more because I was a topper in computer architecture and digital domain in my college. Okay, so I decided to then move to architecture and digital domain. So I joined at NXP Semiconductors at that time. This is
So
my journey.
okay. So then, so from TI, so there your profile was mixed signal, right? As you said, mixed signal, and
Digital and
at NXP it was more of digital architecture, right? So I think the profile at NXP would have helped you. Like, how was your experience at NXP, and how this profile would have helped you, like currently?
So currently, I'm working in the same domain as what I got in an XP. Okay, so
Okay,
functional, pre-silicon functional validation and post-silicon validation, basically. So like functional validation, basically. So like we work on functional aspects of we check whether all the system level aspects as the IP level aspects, the functionality is working properly or not. Okay. So if you see, right, there's a design, verification, and validation domain. Okay. Design is you work in RTL design. So before that also there is systems and architecture team. Architecture team
okay,
is like they design how they check how the final SOC will be like they presented basically. And the systems is they take the requirements from the customers, take the requirements from all the teams. RTL design is the design team, like they do the designing. So then after the design, then comes a verification. So verification team does the verification of the IP at signal level, basically inside the IP there are various signals like clock, reset, power, which generate a overall IP and system response. They work at that level, signals level. Okay, so we work at one more abstraction layer, higher level of abstraction, that is validation. So our scope is how the IP functionality is affecting the overall system. Okay, suppose we are assigned some DSP IP. I was assigned signal processing IP. Okay, so how the signal processing IP is calculating the
okay.
FFT transformation, and how like it is interacting with other IPs, memory, CPU, how it is interacting. So IP level is mostly like inside the IP, the signal processing, how signals are interacting. But here it's like how it is interacting with other IPs. So this was my validation domain. NXP I started this work until, so even TI, as I said, right, it's a mixed signal. So there also I did this digital, but it was mixed signal. So like you can say 70%, 30%. So but yeah, NXP is then I started work at NXP, and currently also I'm doing this validation actually.
At Qualcomm also, I believe you are in the validation, right? Silicon validation.
Mhm.
So how
Correct.
you would say that the environment or the work culture is different at Qualcomm with respect to TI or NXP? Like, you have a experience at these three places, so
Mhm.
how would you like compare it? Yes.
See, work culture totally depends on your team. Okay, it's depends, man. Like there are more than 30,000, like maybe more than 10,000 employees at Qualcomm right now. Okay, so it totally depends on the some teams might be having very hectic work. Some teams might be having a bit easy. Some teams might be having a bit medium. So it totally depends on the team. It's not never a firm. Okay, so most easy work culture. Which company you think you have? Maybe which work-life balance is very good. Okay, which company you think has the best work culture?
I
Okay,
haven't worked at many places, heard of
you
it.
might have heard. You might
Maybe
have heard of it.
I've heard of Adobe, or
Hmm.
maybe some people say Nvidia. That's what you said. The thing that every person has a different
Hmm.
perspective, like you said.
So you, as you said, like even NVIDIA. So let's take example of NVIDIA. If you see and go to Glassdoor, right? Some people might be writing very good work culture. Some might be saying like, oh, no work-life balance, man, here. So it totally depends on the team. Never a firm. It never depends upon a firm. Right? So some teams might be getting very good projects, so the work-life balance may be a bit less. Some teams might not be getting, some teams the like projects, whatever they're getting is incremental basically. If you're getting some projects from the which you have to develop from the scratch, okay, so
Okay.
like then the work life balance will be a bit less, and where there is incremental changes, the work life balance may be very bit good. Okay, but so I got, when I joined Qualcomm, I got an IP which was developed from scratch. Okay, so when I started, the work life balance was a bit less, but yeah, I enjoyed the work basically. So it totally depends on the team, never it depends on a company. Okay, so yeah.
Okay. So, like, currently you are having, I think, 4 to 5 year of experience. So, what would
6 years,
be
6 years,
6 years?
6 years.
So, what would be your an advice to, say, third year or fourth year students who is going into a VLSI industry, trying to go into the VLSI industry? So, how would you say? How would you keep the things like projects, internships, CGPA, and all? Just you can just give a suggestion so that all those who are looking this video, they might
Hmm.
get a bit of direction towards a
Hmm.
particular way.
So yeah, enjoy your college days, like first year and second year. Totally enjoy. Okay, nothing that, just maintain a good CGPA, that 8 or 8.5, like that. Enjoy your college days, first or second year, and third year you have to get a bit serious. Okay, even the fourth year after your placement is complete, right? You can fully enjoy. Okay, nothing there. Like I used to fully enjoy after the placement. First, second, and fourth year of complete enjoy. Okay, like don't consider much. Okay, so maybe in second year and or third year starting, you start to do one internship, like after the winter internship, one internship you can do at some firm which is relevant to electronics, and summer internship you can do after third year. So two internships you can do, man. One training also, for example, some institutes provide very log very log training also. Okay, you can do that. So internships you can do, that's very important because companies look at the internships. Okay, just 2 months internships is complete, you can also do training. And don't try to do multiple projects, 5 6 projects, 10 projects is not required. Nobody will care. Okay, do one or two quality project, even one project. If you do a quality project, right, it's fine. Okay, complete you can, because you can this interview is 1 hour. So if you take this project, right, you can explain it in 30 minutes, 40 minutes, because you have done a very good quality work, right? So you can take one project or two projects and try to go in depth, publish a research paper on that project only. Don't do multiple projects. Okay, only complete one project at a time, and just go in depth of the project. Okay, so the support from the professors in the college is very good. So a lot of good professors are there in this industry, in DTU. So take the help of one mentor, take a topic, and complete the project, and just explain it in the interview. You'll be able to get through the interview. That's not an issue actually.
So a lot of people I've seen that some people they get design, some people get verification, some people get STA. So is it like one particular profile is important, or it is high earning or something like that, or you believe that every profile, every work, what you are doing is
Mm.
equally important and equally like the appreciation is same for all? So what's your stance on that particular thing?
So if you see, right, every profile is the same from my point of view. Okay, so when I joined the firm, right, so like when I joined starting the career, I got validation. Okay, similar to other people, I got demotivated. Why I got validation? Okay, so but then I started to learn the validation, the strategies, how they work on. Okay, basically, then I liked very much the validation. Okay, so I started to used to get very much motivated. Okay, for the validation. So it's not like one profile is good in respect to other. Okay, so all the profiles are the same, because we are in the semiconductor life cycle, right? First it is architecture, system, then design, then verification, then validation, then software. It's like that. So no profile is better than other, all are the same. So it goes through the semiconductor goes through every stage. Okay, So every stage, so it's basically like it's not so every profile is good. Okay, so even if you get validation, if you get verification, if you don't get design right, don't be demotivated, because once you will if you go for like stay for 1 year, right, you will get to know how good your profile is. Okay, don't get demotivated in very early. Okay, so like if you see, right, the pay, as I said, so pay is no, there's no difference. Okay, so from design and verify, all get the same salary. Okay, that's not an issue. Even if you have 25 years of experience, you will be getting good salary. It's not like that. So even some software guys or like validation guys might be earning more than verification guys, or design guys. Some designers might be earning more than validation. It totally depends on the person to person. Okay, so some might be getting a very good early promotion, or some, because it totally depends on the quality of work you are doing. It's not like the work, it's quality of work profile, quality of the work in your profile that you're doing. So no profile is less than other profile. So don't be demotivated, do your work properly, and definitely you will excel in your career. Okay, so if I give you an overview, okay, like as I said, design is RTL design. Then verification is in the signal level, and validation is at the system level. Then software is you're writing a software for a particular subsystem. So every profile is good. Yeah, definitely. You can enjoy work. So
So I
yeah.
think that all profiles are equally important, and students should not be
Mm.
concerned whether they are in this profile or they should go in this profile. Everything needs to be explored, right?
Yeah,
Because
correct. So even if you want, right, you can change your profile after
mm,
some time. So once you gain expertise of your profile validation, you talk to your manager, or you talk to your other like teammates. They're then in the company itself, you can say that, oh man, I want to work in verification now from validation. They will like accept that. Okay, then just some talks with the manager. Then they will other manager, then verification manager. You can ask. They will assign you basically. It's not like you are stick to validation forever. Okay, you can definitely talk to your manager regarding that. It's not like anything you are stuck in something. Okay, but you definitely, one thing I assure you is every profile, there is excitement, and there's a great work that needs to be done. Okay, so definitely, yeah, that's good.
okay. So one thing I've seen, that as you said that you were you wanted to go for coding jobs, because we used to see that software jobs used to pay a lot of, whether it be Google, Facebook,
Mm.
50 lakhs, 1 CR, right? So
Mm.
being in the hardware industry, how do you say that where does hardware industry stand in terms of paying its employees with respect to the software
Mm.
companies? Because most of the people, even not just from DTU and even from IIT Delhi, IIT Bombay, these people also work at TI or Samsung or Qualcomm or NXP. So a very great talent works at these places, right? The brightest of the minds from the country. So how would you see that the pay compensation is comparable or lesser, or what your point on that?
Yeah, if you see, right, so mostly in this like semiconductor, if you compare it with the software companies, right, so the pay is earlier the pay was bit less for semiconductor. If you see 5 years before, okay, these Amazon, Flipkart, they used to pay humongous salary to the freshers in comparison to the semiconductor firms. But if you see in the last 3 or 2 years, the pay has almost become the same. If you see the semiconductor crunch is there, there's a huge demand for semiconductor engineers right now. Okay, so a lot of people a lot of companies now are have come into this space. Okay, the startups have come in some that didn't exist before. Okay, and the pay there's a huge demand for semiconductor engineers, because the applications of semiconductors has scaled a lot. If you see recently, so if you see 5 years before, what was the application of semiconductors? It was used to be in TV, it used to be in like mobile phones, some niche applications or something like that. But now if you see, semiconductors have gone into the artificial intelligence, it has gone into the blockchain, that is gpus. They are cryptocurrency mining, they're using for it is going into self-driving cars. Okay, it's I work on self-driving car chips. Okay, so the applications of the semiconductors has scaled a lot, because of which that there is a the supply is less, because from the colleges, the graduates are still almost the same, or they have grown 1.5x in India. But there's the VLSI industry needs a lot of engineers. So now they are like giving a very good salary to fresher, man. So if you see, like some freshers are even getting in last 5 years, the fresher salary has doubled, like what I used to get when I joined, so, and the salary, if you see Amazon, Qualcomm, Google, not right now, if you go to any college, DTU, for example, they're not so much difference. Like, okay, maybe a 4 to 5 lakh. Stocks is almost the same. Like salaries, base salary is almost the same. Even the increments they're getting is good. Okay, so even the promotions, etc., they are getting good. Okay, so after 15 years anyway, 10 to 15 years, right, you will anyway go to into manager role, etc. There it's almost the same, like okay, like the salaries. And even at the fresher level right now, the salaries are the same. Salaries are the same. Don't concern yourself about the salary. Okay, salary right now, semiconductor, software, everything is the same, so not so much difference. But yeah, definitely there's a great scope for VLSI engineers in the future because of the applications I mentioned, artificial intelligence, blockchain, autonomous driving. Everything depends on semiconductor. More than so it's even it can be possible that they can become more demanding than the software. The engineers can be more demand than software. Okay, so yeah, like focus on your whatever like you like. Okay, whatever your area of interest is, and give your best. Definitely you will get a job in VLSI with like competitive salary, with competitive job profile, everything what you aspire for, you will get it. So that's not an issue now.
So I believe students shouldn't be discouraged from with respect in terms of salary, with respect to software
uh,
jobs and all, because
Nothing.
they all are at par at the industry level.
Correct. So every application that software is right now working, right? Like the semiconductor domain is also working. Take as I said, like supercomputing, it's working. Server side, so AMD. See, if you see the stock of AMD, it has grown so much. Nvidia, it has grown so much. Okay, Qualcomm, Texas, all stocks. Why they are growing so much in the last 2 years? Because of the demand, for the semiconductor chips. The applications have become humongous. These applications nobody thought of. See, 10 years before, Nvidia was in graphics processing. Okay,
Yes.
just computer graphics gaming we used to do. Okay, then nobody thought of blockchain at that time. So now AI, blockchain, autonomous driving, server, the metaverse, everything, these all depend on semiconductors now. So there's a huge demand for semiconductor engineers, and demand is huge, supply is less, salary will be more, because revenue is good in semiconductors. So definitely there is no gap between software and semiconductor engineers now. Even the startups, if you see, software startups have become they're still good, but have become stagnant now, maybe you can say. uh, and now semiconductors are there is a lot of startups I know, like personally. If you see, one of my friends, uncle, he's in startups, and a lot of startups in India also. If you see, for example, what are Steradian Semiconductors, Leaves, products like
Sci-fi
that,
is
something.
there, Logic Fruits.
Sci-fi, lot of startups, man, and they are getting acquired, they are getting grown, you'll see semiconductor startups right now, because the tools have become very much mature now. Okay, it's so in software, why were there so many startups were there? Because you take a laptop, you start coding, your startup is ready. Okay, now also here also the tools have become very much mature. You can take a laptop, download a good, license a good tool, and you will be able to build your own startup. So a lot of companies, their demand is huge, so applications are huge, and supply is less, so salary is more now. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So I think that was a very detailed
Mhm.
explanation why everyone shouldn't think about money, and if even if you think about the money, it is more or less the
Money is
same.
available here. Money is available here. Don't worry. Not even in the fresher, right? Don't worry about money. So when you get experience, the money is huge. Okay. So
Okay.
like,
Okay. So thank you for the conversation, Ravi sir. I think it was a very informative for all the students and even the those who are new to this industry, as because
mm,
of your area of expertise in the experience. So thank you. And you do you have
thank you
anything
so much.
for to say?
Yeah, yeah. Give your best in the semiconductor industry. That's it. There is a huge next 20 years is semiconductors only, not software now. Like all everything is happening in semiconductors. So. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.